This second episode of the Elden Ring Top 10s is cosplays, including armor outfits, body sliders, anything you can do to imitate your chosen character. There was one late change to the rules this time. We excluded submissions that were simply copying in-game characters. For example, someone sent in a full Tree Sentinel cosplay named Where's My Horse, who invades at the first step and waddles around with the telescope. Thankfully, a host eventually reunited him with his missing horse, so all's well that ends well. I liked these NPC replications, but we wanted to allow for more variety. So with that said, let's start the countdown. Beginning at number 10 is See You on the Other Side, with some Berserk cosplays. Berserk is the Japanese manga which inspired many elements in Elden Ring, and the protagonist has been a cosplay favourite amongst the Souls community for many years. See You on the Other Side stated that for this reason a standalone Guts build would have been too bland. Indeed, it was the most common submission for this topic, so instead he's created Guts, Griffith, Casca and Zodd. We felt that the best one was Zodd, a legendary swordsman who lives for combat. Zodd is part of a race of warrior demons called the Apostles. His establishing shot features a mountain of corpses for a reason. He's defeated countless foes over hundreds of years. To imitate the look, he's wearing the fur raiment, which gives the look of his beastly fur cape, the Caden gauntlets and the Elden Lord's boots. The Beastman's curved greatsword fits his style perfectly and is paired together with a warped axe in the offhand. The beaten and warped nature of it indicates how much use it's had. The idea is these weapons have clearly been slammed into many warriors of the past. Crunchyfin is introducing the twins Dante and Virgil from the Devil May Cry series. You might wonder, how can one person play two characters? Well, it's quite genius actually. He uses the Mimic tier to spawn his identical twin, then quickly swaps equipment to play as the other twin. The inspiration here, I believe, is taken from the brotherly cooperation of Devil May Cry 3. When it comes to the multiplayer cooperation side of things, obviously the Mimic tier is not allowed, so the method is a little different. For the first phase of the boss, he'll spawn in as Dante and fight until the second phase. Once the second phase starts, he swaps equipment to play as Virgil. Now, his online name is Son of Sparda, so if the host is aware of the Devil May Cry series, there's a good chance they'll get the reference. For Dante's equipment, we're looking at the Red Mane Surcoat, Vagabond Knight Gauntlets, and Bandit Leggings. The weapon is the Banished Knight's Greatsword to imitate Dante's sword Rebellion, with the Ash of War Impaling Thrust to replicate his famous Stinger stab attack. Vike's Dragonbolt is also there to replicate Dante's Devil Trigger. When it comes to Virgil's equipment, he has the Preceptor's Long Gown, the Vagabond Knight Gauntlets, and Bandit Leggings. Weapon is the Moonveil as Virgil's sword Yamato, with its quick dark phantom slashes cutting through the fabric of space. Additionally, he uses Glintblade Phalanx for Virgil's Summon Swords ability. Wrathfox is at number 8 with his Orc cosplay character named Large Grungus. He's invading into Celia Crystal Tunnel against a host and summon who make the unfortunate mistake of trapping themselves in a small room with a terrible orc. The fire spur me gesture is appropriate for this cosplay, and really this whole orc concept is quite appropriate in the fantasy setting of Elden Ring. The race of twisted humanoid monsters developed by Tolkien don't feel too out of place here. For armour, we're looking at the Champion's Pauldron, the Iron Gauntlets, and Caden Trousers. The Godfrey's Axe weapon art wipes out the summon, and the host meets a similar fate.
Forgive me, I've been testing you to see whether or not grace truly does guide you.
Tiger Ronnie sneaks into the countdown with his Snake cosplay, arguably the most famous video game spy from the Metal Gear series. Darkness is an incantation that creates a veil of darkness to conceal. Enemies caught in this mist are blinded for 7 seconds. The word for this submission is of course stealth, so as well as concealing incantations, he throws rocks to distract enemies. The Kestis is used for the fist attacks, the CQC melee combat style Snake is so famous for. If you didn't know, crouching in long grass genuinely makes it harder for enemies to discover you, so he's always taking advantage of that mechanic. He even seems to make it work on humans as he hunts down 2 players cooperating together. To go over the appearance, he's wearing no helm, but of course chose the eye patch option in the face customization. Then he has the War Surgeon gown, all-knowing gauntlets, and Preceptor's trousers. At number 6, we have a PvP compilation straight out of Midgar. This is Final Fantasy meeting Elden Ring, and it's amazing. Sack of Wine is the player, and he's designed Cloud Strife, an ex-soldier mercenary specifically from the Final Fantasy VII remake. Cloud Strife wields large broadswords in battle and is a versatile melee fighter. For the appearance, he's using no helmet, the Knight's Cavalry armor altered, the Knight's Cavalry gauntlets, and Preceptor's trousers. The thing that's most impressive here is all the ways in which he's been able to replicate Cloud's abilities. For example, the Braver front flip strike ability is done with the Lion's Claw Ash of War, somersaulting forward into a greatsword strike. Likewise, the Thunder ability becomes the Lightning Spear incantation. Let's welcome Aerith to the party, a flower seller from Sector 5. His friend has joined him as a co-op partner, cosplaying as Aerith, a ranged support character who excels in spellcasting. We have some footage from her perspective as well.
So it's my turn?
Once again, a ton of Final Fantasy abilities being remade in Elden Ring here, casting sorceries such as Zamor Ice Storm to imitate Blizzaga, and other Final Fantasy spell variants.
They're no match. Out of time.
Number 5 brings us an incredible Kratos cosplay from the God of War series, the demigod protagonist with a dark beard, pale skin, and crimson tattoos. To create the build, he's gone with the champion set minus the helmet. This is the set the hero class starts with, and with the fur and leather design, it works surprisingly well. The main shapes are all there. Most importantly is the iconic Blade of Chaos representation. He's used dual magma blades for these. And then a Highland axe with blade dance and frost affinity to imitate the Leviathan axe, and the spiked Kestis with Braggart's roar to imitate the Rage of Sparta. Now you can't have Kratos without his boy. He's also designed an Atreus build to be played by his friend. You can see them working together against some invaders here. Atreus is using the black bow for some jump shots and the Erdsteel dagger. It's a fun little addition to the video, but for sure the spotlight is on Kratos, and it seems to be an effective build for PvP, while also being instantly recognizable. JB Behemoth is entering his Ivan Drago character. Ivan Drago is a fictional Soviet boxer from the Rocky film series. In Rocky IV, he's a central antagonist and rival of Rocky Balboa, and we've got a nice training montage to show off his muscles. As funny as this is, it shows how close the character is to the film. We do have errant sorcerer boots for the boxer's shoes, and the battle mage manchettes to indicate the wrist wraps and tape. The iron ball fist weapons serve as the gloves, and he even uses pickled turtleneck and exalted flesh, which are stamina and physical damage buffs respectively. JB said these were to represent the enhancements gained from using steroids. Clanky Mocha introduces the legendary Geralt of Rivia from the Witcher series, a monster slayer with supernatural abilities. He's wearing the leather gloves, boots, and prisoner shirt outfit to mimic his Netflix show appearance. The Claymore is used to mimic his silver sword, as seen here, in addition to the banished Knight's greatsword for a more spinning moveset, so he can accurately recreate Geralt's combat style. Speaking of combat style, of course there are a lot of items and abilities to incorporate. He's edited together a quick showcase of these, from things like the Blood Boil Aromatic to mimic Witcher potions, the Bubble Shield to mimic the Quen Sign spell, Grease and Bombs to mimic Witcher oils and bombs, and much more. Heartbreaker Jacob presents his cosplay of Avatar Aang from the last Airbender cartoon. Aang is an air nomad capable of using all 4 bending arts: airbending, waterbending, earthbending, and firebending. The appearance is fantastic. He's chosen the high page clothes, altered, godskin noble bracelets, and consort's trousers. He's then created a hybrid faith strength build who mainly uses Ashes of War equipped to 3 identical Gargoyles twin blades. All weapon skills and incantations used on this build correlate to the 4 elements found in the show. For the air category, we have the Ashes of War Storm Assault and Beast's Roar. For fire, he's used the incantations Giant's Flame Take Thee, Flame Fall Upon Them, and the Flaming Strike Ash of War. For earth, he has the incantations Bestial Sling, Stone of Gurranq, Beast's Claw, and Gurranq's Beast Claw. Then for water, he has the incantations Ice Spear, Frozen Lightning Spear, and of course the ancestral Infant's Head. As with a lot of the cosplays on this countdown, there is essentially no poise or defense, so be wary when using them, especially against mages, but just know that they can absolutely be effective, and it really doesn't hurt to be creative and off meta every now and then. It's about having fun at the end of the day, and this character is awesome.
Hey!
Granby comes in at number 1 with a meticulous recreation of
I'm Sypha Belnades
from the Castlevania Netflix series. As one of the main protagonists, Sypha is first introduced in the show as a statue, so Granby references that with a Mimic's Veil statue transformation to set the scene. This is a rune level 150 intelligence and faith build, since she's shown to primarily use ice and fire magic, so the spells used reflect that, with a few well-fitting Carian sorceries thrown in as well. For looks, we have the Lazuli robe, Queen's bracelets, and Champion gaiters. Her weapons are the Golden Order seal and Azur's Glidstone staff. There are a few invasions included to show off the combat potential, with long-range free-aim fireballs or wrecking summons, just like the multiple balls of fire she conjures up in the show. She has a cryokinesis mastery, the ability to freeze any type of water instantly, including blasting ice shards at opponents, just like the Great Blade Phalanx sorcery. She can generate enormous amounts of fire, even walls of flame and fire bursts around her feet. Burn O Flame is a fantastic incantation to use for that purpose. With aerokinesis, she can conjure small whirlwinds and even change their temperature, just like the Zamor Ice Storm. Ultimately, in terms of everything, the look and the spells and the face, this cosplay is kind of insane. But the best thing about this topic is you can take inspiration from any of these cosplays and tweak them for yourselves, or even make your own. Why ever not? Thanks for watching and participating this time, everyone. Next topic will be top 10 dungeon kills. This is a topic very specific to Elden Ring. There's something like 50 or so dungeons in the game, and they're an underrated type of area for unique PvP encounters, full of underground traps and interesting level designs. So any cool multiplayer strategies, moments or encounters within these dungeons can be sent to top10souls@gmail.com. As always, let me know the context if you can, the dungeon name and what's going on in the clip. Thank you very much to Oroboro for co-judging these submissions with me again. Thanks to everyone else for 600,000 subscribers, and I'll see you next time.